Welcome back to my first time. This time I'm making homemade dinner rolls for the first time. Let's get started. When I cut the butter, I tried marking the butter at the halfway point, but I didn't need to because when it's unwrapped, the lines are still visible.
No, I could have just done that. Heat it on the stove to 110.
After cutting the butter into the chunks I needed, I heated the milk. It's supposed to be at 110 degrees. I grabbed a pan and a meat thermometer and set about heating the milk. The thermometer starts at 120, but it's marked for increments of 10 degrees, so I figured I'd just guess where 10 degrees less than 120 would be, and that would be when I finished. Only it definitely didn't work.
Also, it is super convenient to have to hold the thermometer in one hand. Or this in there. Definitely more than 110 degrees. Definitely more than 110 degrees. That was not effective. That thermometer idea did not work. So a meat thermometer, not good enough. Interesting.
While I wait for the milk to cool, I'll start measuring out the flour.
One cup here, 2 cups there. Excellent. I feel like it shouldn't still be steaming. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer. 1 tablespoon of sugar. And 1 tablespoon of sugar. Try tearing it. I don't think that's the best idea. Not exactly terrible. It's been a couple minutes. It's warm, but not hot. Hopefully, the yeast survives. And this doesn't just kill it. And cover for 5 minutes. I think paper towel. Alright. Well, the yeast doesn't look dead, so that's a positive. Alright, so just add the 4 pieces of butter, softened. 1 egg, broken. That was a weird break. 1 cup of flour and 1 teaspoon of sugar. You want to lock and do this for about a minute-ish, 30 seconds, something like that. Nice thing about this is the first recipe I've made involving butter that didn't involve me rubbing it into the flour by hand. So that is a positive. Just to scrape the sides. I'm gonna add in a little bit at a time. It doesn't specifically say to do this, but it also doesn't specifically say not to do this. So, gray area. Forgot to lock it. That could have been bad. I feel like this is a sticky dough. And I'm supposed to put some extra flour in there until it's not a sticky dough. But I'm not an expert on what that means. So I'll start off with that. I have a feeling this is not right.
The dough in the mixer started causing it to shake wildly, so I decided to knead it by hand.
This is unsettling. Don't do that. This is freaking me out, man. I'm just going to do it by hand. Oh no. Oh no. Occurs to me, I don't actually know how to knead dough. I think this is how. Okay, that's freaking me out. Damn it. Way better. Again, don't know if this is how you knead dough, but it's good enough. Technology has failed us. Maybe if I used a bread hook. Now I'm left with kneading dough like some Depression era grandma on the counter. Hard to believe. This is only 3 cups of flour. It does feel more doughy, like looser or something. It's exhausting. It's times like this that I regret being so far out of shape. Although round is a shape, so I guess that's not an accurate statement. Not ready yet.
This is me window painting the dough. It's where you stretch it to the point light can be seen through it before it tears. I did this for many more minutes, probably way more than I needed, but eventually I did see light through the dough, so it was done.
With aluminium foil. And that's it for 2 hours.
That perfect punch right there was because when I was 8 years old, I took karate. I got the yellow belt. You know, I don't want to brag or nothing, but yeah. All right. I thought I would lay out the dough in a log shape and cut slices off of that to make the rolls. The slices weren't uniform, and I tried cutting off pieces from larger rolls to make another roll. The dough pieces didn't come together right, and the rolls made like that were oddly shaped. When I ate them, they separated at the points the dough pieces were pressed together. I also tried doing that thing where you fold over the back edges and then you roll it on the counter to make a perfectly round ball, but that didn't work either. Covering the dough balls and letting them rise for an hour, it was time to bake at 350 for 20 to 22 minutes.
That's left to do. A whole bunch of perfectly symmetrical expertly formed dinner rolls. See if this is an effective method. Sort of. And they're not as pretty as store-bought. But, there's something.
Dinner rolls weren't bad, but they weren't exactly the way I like them. I'm more of a fan of the sweet Hawaiian rolls. And these were more like those Pillsbury rolls that you'd get out of a can. They kind of had that same kind of consistency and taste. They weren't bad, but I don't know. With all this effort, I don't know if I'd make it again, at least not anytime soon.